Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Sorry, just one moment. This is Reganelite here. Hello, everyone. How are you guys doing? Hope you guys are all doing well. Welcome to Reganelite's Watch Along, episode 78 here. We'll be watching and reacting to certain clips online. We'll be making a slight detour before we start that. And we'll come because of a story that I really do need to talk about. Although there's no videos really as such to go with it. I could wait until tomorrow morning to talk about it on the Good Morning Show, but given we didn't cover UK news, I need to talk about it. I just want to say good evening to James Connolly, Billy Kershaw, Person Impersonator, Jow there, and anybody else who may be lurking in the chats. The date and time of this live stream is the 29th of October 2025 at 8 p.m. UK time, roughly here. We are dual streaming live on youtube.com/Reganelite and on twitch.tv/Reganelite1. I haven't had time to put in the descriptions, but we're going to talk a little bit about the bill that Nigel Farage put in, the ECHR one. I'm going to talk a little bit about him, Reform Russia, Gaza, Hurricane Melissa, and a little bit on Zach and PMQs, and if we have time, there's a video for mental health as well, guys. So we'll see. Excuse me. We'll see how things go here. Now, before, like I said, there's a really story that I didn't touch on this morning because I didn't cover UK news. Now, the reason why I'm bringing up this story now is because of the significance of it. So an Afghan national was charged after a triple stabbing in West London as the murder victim is named. Sales Darth has been charged with 1 count of murder, 2 counts of attempted murder, and possession of an offensive weapon after Monday's incident in Uxbridge. The reason why I want to touch on this, guys, as I was preparing this live stream, and the man was literally walking his dog before he was attacked. And I'm sorry to have to say this, that there is footage. There is footage online, and sadly, I've seen that footage of him literally walking his dog before he was attacked. He was literally walking his dog, and the man basically struck him, and multiple stab wounds to him. Which is absolutely horrific. We know that now, why is this such a big deal? Well, of course, it's because it's an Afghan who is responsible to this. And this is, first and foremost, my deepest condolences to friends and families and that community there, of first and foremost. Of course, but this stabbing in particular, when it comes from somebody from a different nationality, is highlighted and exaggerated far more than it is when it is a white person or a British person responsible. We're talking about an Afghan national here, and understandably so, this has been blown up by the far right, and he's going to be used as, once again, as a political weapon, as to highlight a political football, to highlight the need of deporting Afghans from literally, there was a tweet out, someone basically calling for all Afghans to be deported from the UK, which is a nonsense thing to say because of this. Now, and my response to that was, so you want to deport the Afghans who helped save the British soldiers in Afghanistan when our soldiers served in that country? You want to deport them as well, who have nothing to do with this, who are good, upstanding citizens here in the UK. You want to deport those Afghans as well, who helped save British lives, British soldiers in Afghanistan. Yeah, you want to deport them as well, because that was the first thing that came to my mind when I saw that tweet. And I don't know the motives. I don't know why the person did it, but yeah, Sales Dalford, 22, has been charged with 1 count of murder, 2 counts of attempted murder, possession of offensive weapon, and following a triple stabbing in Uxbridge on Monday. Crown Prosecution Service, the Afghan National paper will appear Afghan National will appear in Western Wales courts tomorrow. Police and paramedics were called. He was treated for stab wounds at the scene and died at the scene of the injury. The Sun had a really powerful front page, really emphasising the need for more to be done, and basically like blood on the hands of the Labour government and whatnot. I will touch more on this story tomorrow because I feel I need to, because we didn't talk about it tomorrow this morning because we were covering world news. But my thought is that because it's an Afghan, obviously it's going to be used as a political football, and it's really frustrating because there was literally a case a few days ago. I was not aware of this. Apparently a white man allegedly has been charged with raping a migrant woman in the UK, but there's been no talk about that story at all, apparently. We can have a look and see if it's still up. If my computer wasn't so bloody slow. One second. Racially aggressive attack. This is 3 days ago. Woman in her 20s has been raped in what police have called racially aggravated attack. West Midlands Police called Park area of Walsall about 9:15 on Saturday. This was Saturday. The attacker is described as a white in his 30s clothing. Do the far right, do reform, do those who have concerns about their children's and whereabouts, are they concerned about this person? Are they concerned about this person? Are they concerned about this person? Yeah, when it's an Afghan. Are they concerned about when a white person does it? Answers on a postcard, please. So we will I will make a note. Actually, I'm going to make a note now. Because yeah, this was a story that I missed completely, and I do apologize for it. It's a story that kind of threw me off in the last half an hour, guys. So that's why I'm a bit all over the place at the moment. Indie Duck, hello. Pete's Music, good to see you there. Billy Kershaw. Ginger Lefty, good to see you there. I've been using my alt account, lots of things going on. No worries, it's fine. Hope you are doing well, and anybody else looking in the chats. Right, we're going to switch gears, guys, and I want to take us to... I'm not going to play the whole thing. Don't worry, I'm not going to play the whole thing. I promise I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I just want to play a little bit of it. A little bit of it here. I'm not going to indulge with 10 minutes of listening to Nigel Farage because that would be inhumane and cruel. But Nigel Farage had a bill today, and he repeatedly heckled by Labour MPs and Labour and Lib Dem MPs as he laid out his proposed ECHR withdrawal bill. MP shouted Putin's pet. It's marvellous to see the intellectual intelligence of a debate in this place. It really is. It's I find it what I found really infuriating with his bill was how many people voted for it. It had like 148 no's to like 90 plus yays. And if you look there, well, where would the yays have come from? Well, there's only one place that they would have come from, and that's from the Conservatives. So even though the Conservatives were not sitting, you can see quite a few of them there. But even though there's like how many Conservatives there are? There's more than there's a fair dozen of Conservative MPs. Still, over 90 of them turned up to vote for this bill, despite the fact this bill was going to get shot down. And that really infuriated me. So like I said, we're going to endorse a couple of minutes of Nigel Farage's bill. And I said we're not going to go through the whole thing, I promise.
Deputy Speaker, I beg to move that leave be given to bring in a bill to make provision for the United Kingdom to withdraw from the European Convention on Human Rights and to make further provision in connection with the withdrawal of the United Kingdom from that convention. In many ways, this is unfinished business. On June 23rd, 2016, in the biggest democratic exercise in the history of these islands, the British people, despite being told by all the businesses and all the trade unions and much of the press and most of this House, managed, despite everything...
Did you see this? Didn't you say you were going to leave? Didn't you say you were going to leave? Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Nigel Farage said he was going to leave the country? Yeah, he didn't leave the country, guys. Oh, what a shame.
Everything. Children, be quiet. Manage.
Oh dear, oh my sorry, oh my god, Nigel Farage, I think he's been a bit sensitive, guys. Nigel Farage, he's poor, he's so sensitive, oh my god. You know, the fragility, ooh. It's like Donald Trump, you know, don't upset the orange man. You don't want to upset him. He's going to hurt his feelings. And poor Nigel Farage here getting heckled here. Oh dear, he can't help it.
Manage.
Order. I will be responsible for maintaining order in this chamber. Nigel Farage.
Yes, Madam Deputy, I'm sure you will allow me the opportunity to continue to try and say something without such constant interventions, and I thank you for that. And we voted clearly by a massive margin for the British people to bring back...
That's not true. It was a very close margin on the Brexit deal, but you know he's lying. Here's the thing: like he's lying, and we know he's lying, but he's here's what this is about. Okay, as we will listen to a bit more. I know you guys can't stand this, but it's not about actually getting the bill passed. Okay, this is about him having an uninterrupted 10-minute speech. That they can clip this and put this to their right-wing buddies and friends, the GB News, the Talk TVs, and say, you know, this is about Nigel Farage trying to get over and push over more about the withdrawal of the ECHR, trying to win people over's way of doing this. This is what this is all about. It's all about convincing people that why we need to leave the ECHR. That's what this is all about. It's not about actually winning this bill. This is what it's about, guys.
The sovereignty, and by the way, what makes me laugh about this isn't just the sovereignty of this country, it's the sovereignty of this very chamber and the people within it to bring power back to this very place, and that is what we voted for. And of course, one of the most important subsets, one of the biggest reasons for that vote to happen was the deep alarm at the huge numbers of people coming into our country. The fact that
yeah, and guess what happened? It went up. It went up, Nigel. The amount of migrants that came in after we voted, it just went up, guys. The graphs just went up. More people were able to come to the UK illegal routes. And guess what? We couldn't send them back anymore. Oh, because we didn't have a deal with France anymore. Because we weren't part of the European Union. Oh, dear. If only he knew that.
And effectively we had open borders.
They're even more open than ever before because of you backing Brexit. It's your fault that we have bigger borders.
Making us poorer in every way.
Making us poorer. Okay.
Now, of course, our membership of the European Council, of the European Convention, and then it's writing into British law in 1998, kind of enshrined this, and it's what I think Tony Blair wanted us to do. Now, I believe that Brexit cannot be complete, all the while we're subject to a foreign court.
It's not a foreign court, again. I have to remind ourselves, it is not a foreign court. I don't know how many times we need to say this. It is not a foreign court. There are literally British judges on this panel, and it's an international court.
And frankly...
And it provides checks and balances to the British government, which, by the way, we need... Because if we don't have that, it means governments can carte blanche do everything to destroy our very own human rights. We would have no courts to go to. Because they can overhaul British judges here. Politicians can change the laws here in Britain. They can't change an international court.
A piece of legislation brought in by the Blair government upon which judges can choose their own political interpretation.
Good evening, Daily Blase. I did see, oh, by the way, if you didn't see If you didn't see his video, guys, do check it out. The one where David Lammy roasts a dumb, pathetic Robert Jumrick. I mean, I shared the clip on Monday, but Daily Blase did his breakdown of it, and it was certainly delightful to watch it again there as well, my friend. Good to see you there.
We are not sovereign, all the while we are part of the ECHR, the European Council, and its associated court.
That's right. Nigel Farage wants us completely sovereign. He doesn't want us having any relationships with the EU, part of any organisations, of any bodies. He wants us completely on our own. What could possibly go wrong without having checks and balances, guys? What could possibly go wrong?
It's as simple as that. And do you wonder? It's marvellous to see the intellectual levels of debate in this place, it really is.
Take your time.
Do you wonder that out in the country there is growing frustration?
Order. Can I remind members that the honourable gentleman has a 10-minute rule bill in front of this House and should be listened to without interruption. Nigel Farage.
That's because he's an arsehole.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. I was talking about fear growing in the country, anger growing in the country. I sense there's also a bit of that growing in this chamber as well. I do not believe that it is right that we should, when it comes to controlling our borders, when it comes to who should be able legally to live, work and settle in this country, or indeed who should not be allowed to stay in our country, for this to be under the remit, firstly, of judges in Strasbourg, who, by the way, are jurists.
Oh, by the way, what about the legal migrants? Didn't one of your colleagues or colleagues say they wanted to deport legal migrants as well? Oh no, that was the Conservative. But surely you would support something like that, right? Yeah. What about legal migrants? Yeah.
Most of them not even legally qualified, and secondly, under the political control of judges in this country who now can make their own interpretation of what we've understood for many, many years to be British common law. This bill intends to restore the power of this Parliament, the power of all of you as MPs, to actually be in control of the things that really matter most.
Yeah, you're in control of Clacton. What have you done for the people of Clacton? Nigel, you're a man that has authority and have power as an MP in Clacton. What have you done to improve the lives of the people of Clacton? This is something that I've consistently talked about, guys, yeah? What has he done for the people of Clacton? I've always said this, yeah? Whenever we talk about Nigel Farage, I say, what has he done for Clacton? What has he done to improve their lives? What are things that he's done in Clacton? What is the things that he has done? Answers on a postcard, please. Oh, Martin Brisk, thank you so much for the 2C HF there. Let the penguins take over the world. You're right. Humans are incapable of running the world. We should let the penguins do it. Pingu agrees. Pingu is definitely in agreement for that. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate that.
To all of your voters, whether they supported you or not. This bill intends to return British common law and to bring back some ideas, rather than state-given rights, of birthrights, of liberty and freedom.
Why does this sound... Birthrights, here. Does this sound familiar, guys? Birthrights, huh? Do you know what? It sounds like something that he took from America, you know? There was a lot of talk about, birthright citizenship under the First Amendment in the US. It sounds like that he wants to take away, if people who have lived and worked and committed their lives to the UK, who have contributed here, but are not British citizens, if they've been here for a certain period of time, that they shouldn't be allowed to become a British citizen. That sounds like what he's trying to do here.
These are things that over centuries served our country far better than any other nation in the European continent. This is about liberty, it's about freedom, it's about democratic control.
Right.
And just think of this. Whatever election result there is, even if 650 of us wanted to change rules on who can come across the channel and who can stay, we could be overruled by a convention we signed up to in 1998. We could literally, don't shake your heads, we could literally be overruled.
Yeah, it's Nigel, it's about their human rights. Yeah? It is about the European Convention on Human Rights. It's not just about my human rights, not just about people in the chat and their human rights. It's about these people's human rights. These are not just numbers on a system here. Every single migrant is a human being of a certain nationality, just like you and I. Yeah, every single one of them is a human being. They are entitled to human rights, just like you and I. And you want to take their human rights away. You don't want them to have the rights that we have in this country, in the UK as a whole. You want to take them all away.
Literally be overruled. So this is about sovereignty.
It's not about sovereignty. This is about taking British rights away. This is about taking English human rights away, Welsh human rights away, Scottish human rights away, because trust me, they'll want to do that, and Northern Irish human rights. This is what this is about, taking away the very fabrics of rights that we have here. Yeah? Your holiday rights, they can take that away. Your sick pay rights, they can take that away. Make you a slave and work 24/7. That's what they want.
This is about sovereignty of the country. It's about sovereignty of our parliament. It's about our voters being able to choose the future course and direction of our own country. And that is why this...
That is why we should have proportional representation, Nigel Farage, that your party once supported. Surely you're still in favour of proportional representation then, surely. You know, so that we can have a democratically fair vote, so that people don't have to tactically vote anymore. Surely you're in favour of such a thing, right?
Matters. And let's just remind ourselves, very briefly, of some of the worst examples of where the ECHR takes away our democratic rights. To begin, and it's really interesting, isn't it? It was the last Conservative government who decided to put in place the Rwanda legislation. In theory, very good. It would act as a deterrent. Unless you...
Do you know what really infuriates me? Okay? I don't know how true this is, but I've heard some Labour MPs say that Labour... I don't know who, but I've heard that some Labour MPs said we should not have scrapped the Rwanda scheme. Labour MPs. Not Conservatives, not Reform. No. We're Labour MPs. And here you have another idiot saying that Rwanda would work. Yeah, let's give Rwanda billions of pounds. We've given billions of pounds of taxpayer money already to Rwanda. What did it do? What has it done? It done fuck all. We gave our taxpayer money to Rwanda and fuck all was done under the Conservatives. And they kept moaning, oh, it's the ECHR, it's in the way. We can't send it because they're in the way. Yeah, because, and we had this whole bloody debacle over whether Rwanda was deemed a safe country. A safe country. It could not be so insane. The stupid thing is at the time, and correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, please feel free to add or correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, but we could have sent some of these people to Canada because of the Commonwealth. I heard we could have sent them to Canada. I'm sure that would have been a hell of a lot cheaper. But for some reason, we want to send them to a country that doesn't even respect people's human rights. And we literally, taxpayer money was spent on building homes in Rwanda. You literally had the Wicked Witch of the West, Suella Braverman, there in Rwanda, posing as the construction of buildings with our taxpayer money was being built in Rwanda. And they didn't even house a single migrant. All we end up doing is spending our money building homes for people in Rwanda. And just to add the caveat, and we've said this before and I've said this again, it does nothing to stop people getting in boats, crossing over to the UK. It will, like the term deterrent does not work. If these people want to come to the UK, they're going to try. They're going to die trying. Telling them, we're going to send you to Rwanda. And it's like, okay, I'm just going to travel from Rwanda then to get back to Calais so I can cross a boat over. That's all they're going to do. That you send them to Rwanda, okay, they're gonna leave Rwanda and then they're gonna make the journey again. Like, that's what they're gonna do.
You support the criminal gangs? Yes, it was a very good idea. A very good idea.
It was a stupid idea.
The trouble was it couldn't happen. And why couldn't it happen? Well, because you think about the Rwanda deportation flight in 2022 at 10 p.m. at night. A single judge in Strasbourg, one without any legal qualification.
That's a lie. He has legal qualifications.
Decided on the basis of Article 3, the flight could not take off. And we go on, of course, to horrendous stories, particularly under Article 8, the right to a family life. Well, whose families? The families of British people, or the families of those who've come into Britain, in some cases illegally, and then been waved through?
Both! Both! It's about both! It's about my family, your family, everyone's family. You want to disrupt your people's families. It's about protection and values of all families, regardless of their nationalities, regardless of their migration status. It's about protecting their values, protecting their families. That's what that is about. You want to undermine that. You do.
Some of it is disgusting beyond belief. A Pakistani child sex offender dodged deportation.
Pakistani child sex offender. Okay, yeah. He had me confused there for a second, but I got it.
On the basis that his removal would harm the children that he'd had in this country. And this goes on and on and on.
You just gave one example.
Brazilian murderers, rapists, many others who claim under Article 8 the right to a family life. Well, what about British families? Yeah. What about their rights? Yeah. What about their freedoms? What are your priorities here as members of this place?
What about... Oh, okay. Oh, I don't see you, Nigel, giving any calm or concern about white people causing some of these things. You know, you always seem to point a finger at immigrants, but you never seem to say anything about white people being responsible either. I don't see you saying anything there, you know.
Now, of course, we'll be told that by leaving this completely outdated 75-year-old convention, and by the way, I fully understand why. In the 1940s, this was signed up to, because the other European countries did not have constitutions, did not have democracies that could prevent them going into extremism. But it's now completely outdated. We are not Russia. We are not Belarus.
Yeah, well, we're not Russia. I'm sorry. Sorry, are you Russia? Are you Russia?
Indeed. Countries like New Zealand, Australia, Canada. Nobody in this room would say they're barbaric or backward countries. They defend freedoms.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's Nigel. Those countries you mentioned, you know, great nations. Don't know if it's. I hate to tell you this, but they're a long way away from where we are geography-wise. I don't know if you've seen the map of the world, but just wanted you to know that.
But I don't defend state-given human rights.
Is that what you and my about put?
Because they can be taken away by the very state that has been given to them in the first place. I've never seen so many Liberal Democrats in all my life. I've seen mine.
Okay, that joke he deserves, because the Lib Dems never get enough time apart from on PMQs.
Order! Continue.
I would ask the Liberal Democrats and others in this place, what is wrong with you? Do you not believe?
It's called common sense!
Do you not believe?
We've got a list for you. You've only got 10 minutes.
Do you not believe this country is good enough to make its own laws?
It already does, Nigel. We already make our own laws. We did that before Brexit. We did that during Brexit. We did that after Brexit, and we're still making our own laws. Do you not understand how British laws work? Like, I'm a simple YouTuber, but even I know that we can make our own laws here.
Do you not believe that the country that since Magna Carta has developed the principle of common law, and with its faults, perhaps been the best ever developed by civilization, do you not believe we're good enough to make these rules? Or we stick with outdated conventions preyed on by human rights lawyers in this country? I move this bill will restore democratic trust and faith in this once great nation. Thank you.
I said I wasn't going to put us through that, but it was worth just haggling him, listening to people telling him to sit down and shut up and whatnot. What a 9 minutes and 55-second video of absolute complete hogwash from Nigel Farage. I applaud all the people who tried to shake him off and made comments about him. I just think this was a complete and total waste of time. I feel sorry for all the MPs there, not the Reform Russia ones, but all the MPs there who had to give up their time, with the exception of the Conservatives, because they're morons and believe in this as well, who actually understand the danger of allowing such a bill to get passed here. Absolutely infuriating. And if you just need a reminder here, guys, here it is, a friendly reminder. These are the rights that we all have under the ECHR. They are not just for a privileged few, they are for every single one of us. And this is what Nigel Farage wants to take away. Number 1, respect human rights. Number 2, the right to life. Number 3, the prohibition of torture. Number 4, the prohibition of slavery. Number 5, the right to liberty and security. Number 6, the right to a fair trial. Number 7, the no punishment without law. Number 8, the right to respect privacy and family life. Number 9, the freedom of thought, consciousness and religion. Number 10, freedom of expression. Number 11, freedom of assembly and association. Number 12, the right to marry. Number 13, the right to an effective remedy if your rights are violated. Number 14, the prohibition of discrimination. Number 15, the derogation of in time of emergency. Number 16, the restriction of political activity of non-nationals. Number 17, the prohibition of abuse of rights. And number 18, limitations of use of restrictions of rights. And this is what Nigel Farage wants to take from you. Where is Ed Davey? Let's hear from Ed Davey, who I thought really respected Ed Davey here. I thought this was a lovely video he put out in response to this abomination and rubbish from Nigel Farage here.
When people died because of poor care at Stafford Hospital, their families secured change because of these laws. When British troops died in Iraq because of poor equipment, the Supreme Court ruled that the government was accountable because of these laws.
Britain is a bastion of human rights. That is why the European Convention on Human Rights was drafted by British lawyers. So why is it that someone like Nigel Farage, a man who claims to be a patriot, wants to leave a court we British created? Well, it is because he doesn't believe in our rights, in rights for British people. I'm afraid it's part of his larger plan. He looks over at the United States and sees the only thing stopping Donald Trump's move to an authoritarian regime are the courts. The courts are a final protection for Americans against the Trump state, just as they are here for us and as they are everywhere where people have freedom. Today, my party decided that instead of allowing the House of Commons to nod through a bill removing your rights, your recourse to justice, your final protection against an authoritarian state, we would force a vote to oppose Nigel Farage. But let me tell you, that isn't enough. We need to beat Nigel Farage and Kemi Badenoch for the sake of our rights and our country. We've seen what's happening in Trump's America. Don't let it become Farage's Britain.
That is our history. That is who we are. That is Britain at our best. And yet the Honourable Member for Clacton wants us to forget our history, dump British values, undermine the rule of law and row back on people's hard-won rights. I say no.
Yeah, very, very good from him here. This is more of his speech here.
The huge benefits and rights the European Convention has brought to millions of British people says it all. For those attracted by the argument we've just heard, let me give them one strong reason to think again. Russia, under Vladimir Putin, is the only country to have withdrawn from the European Convention on Human Rights. Now, maybe that's what attracts the honourable gentleman for Clacton to it. After all, he said that Putin is the world leader he most admires. Russia, a country where those who oppose the regime are mysteriously pushed off balconies, and where, if it isn't enough to murder a political opponent like Alexei Navalny, Putin has even jailed lawyers who dared represent him. Things not allowed under the European Convention. But as we've seen a leading political ally of the honourable member, Nathan Gill, imprisoned for taking Russian bribes, perhaps we shouldn't be surprised that the Reform Party is so keen to follow Russia. And besides Russia, Madam Deputy Speaker, where else are people's hard-fought-for rights under attack? Trump's America. Of course, the US isn't part of the European Convention, yet its citizens have benefited from something similar, the US Constitution, designed to check the power of tyrants and protect the individual from the state. And just like the honourable member's desire to remove people's rights here, his hero, Donald Trump, is doing the same in America, attacking the courts and the rule of law, even inciting a violent mob against the US Congress to overturn an election. But of course, the honourable member for Clacton has called President Trump an inspiration. So if you want to know the member for Clacton's intentions for British people's basic rights and freedoms, just look at Putin's Russia or Trump's America. Madam Deputy Speaker.
That's very good. I wish I had the whole speech from Ed Davey. I really do, but I don't. But I really do appreciate his views on this. And while, of course, I'm not a fan of the Liberal Democrats. I'm not a fan of I'm not a fan of them personally, and I don't trust the Lib Dems to a certain extent. However, I do appreciate at times where they really do care about the British public on certain issues, and this obviously is one of them. One of them that we can agree on here. So, and I thought if we get time, we'll go to PMQs as well, because I thought his questions were very good as well there. Just a couple of other bits just to add to this as well.
Nigel Farage wants to tear us away from the European Convention on Human Rights, an international treaty which has been protecting us for almost 75 years. The only European countries not in it are Russia and Belarus. Your right to a fair trial, free speech and protection from slavery, torture and government overreach. The ECHR helps to uphold each of these and so many other fundamental rights. Today, Farage will attempt to use something called a 10-minute rule bill. This is one of the only ways that MPs can introduce a bill to Parliament. 3,500 have been introduced since 1945 and only 60 have passed. That's not even 2% in 80 years. MPs know they are highly unlikely to pass a bill this way, but it gives them 10 minutes to present their bill to the House uninterrupted. Although 10-minute rule bills rarely progress, Farage will attempt to use this to farm social media soundbites. Farage will get his 10 minutes, but be prepared for the artificial outrage when his 10-minute rule bill, like the thousands before it, goes nowhere.
Yeah, and like I said, the 10 minutes was all about him making his views. That's what it's all about there. And I think this is an old. I want to thank Blazer the Sun for this one here. This is a reminder of the past here. Of course, the real threat isn't asylum seekers and dinghy. It's the people who want to lead the ECHR and take away all your rights: the right to trial, right to healthcare, right to sick pay. And you can tell this is an old video, but you can see the warning signs here that this is where they were going. Do it. That's how they do it. Make you turn your anger towards someone else. It's always about the deflection. And that's what it's all about here, guys. That is what it is all about. Those ones are not worth covering, to be fair there. I want to actually, before We're going to continue with a little bit with reform here. I actually want to take you to this clip first here. Some of you may have not seen this clip. This is really... if you want to make a video out of this clip, Daily Blase, feel free to do so, because this is this reminds us just how shambolic Reform Russia are. So Reform Party UK exposed. We have another brilliant one here. Who wants to see Reform UK's Chris Large get absolutely humiliated? Here he tries to claim credit for the work done when the Conservatives ran Staffordshire Council. It didn't go well. Stop trying to claim credit for other people's work from Reform UK. So just listen to the questions and listen to his answers, guys.
Delivery highlights. So adult social care services rated good by the CQC. Could you just confirm that the CQC inspection took place in February and March, so before the Reform administration took over the running of the council?
That's a good question. We'll come back to you on that one.
Well, it's factually correct. So that happened in February and March. So
he just... He had to get told, no, that actually happened. You do realise that actually happened. We just asked the first question. It's a very simple question. It gets worse, guys, don't worry.
So that is a success of the council, which we all celebrate, but it's not something that Reform had anything to do with. New flag protocol, yep, that's absolutely Reform's. Launched Screen Staffordshire. So Screen Staffordshire launched in April 2024. So in what way is that a 100 days delivery highlight for your administration?
It's a highlight that's been put forward through this 100 days, so the achievement of it. That's all we're showing it there.
Okay.
But it was before you took control of the council. It was something that was done under the Conservatives. How do you not understand the time frame here? He said April 2024. You do understand that, right? You understand like April 2024 and now October 2025 today. You do understand the time frames here, right?
Okay, so it was launched a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
So in what way is it?
And it's been delivered now, so that's what we've finished with.
So it's not it's not a delivery success for Reform. It's not a new initiative that Reform have brought forwards.
We've completed it within that 100-day period.
Okay, it was launched a year ago.
But it's been finished in the 100-day period.
It wasn't launched. It wasn't you. You're taking credit for something you had nothing to do with. How fucking thick are you? How stupid are you? I'm sorry. You got thick as fiddle here. Like, we talked about the Kent councillors here. My God, this guy's an idiot.
It's a 3-year pilot.
Yes.
Launched a year ago.
And we've furthered that on in the 100 days.
So it's not been completed and it's not been launched during the 100 days?
It's been launched, not within the 100 days, that's correct.
Okay. Achieved county gigabit coverage milestone. Mm-hmm. Okay, so the gigabit broadband programme, I lose track of this now. I think that began at least 5 years ago. I'd look to any officers who know the exact date. But it's at least 5 years ago. So that was achieved in June. So 5 years plus a few weeks of the new administration. So that's in the 100 days because...
How is this a reform? How is this a reform success? Answers on a postcard, please.
Okay. Yes, the 6 months earlier that the previous target. This represents gigabyte connectivity to more than 370,000 premises.
Yep.
So that's the milestone that we've achieved in
Okay.
that area.
That's fine. Thank you.
You had nothing to do with that policy! Oh, fuck's sake! Thank you so much, Reform Party UK Exposed. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Delivery highlights. So,
Can you stop? Alright. Darren, I'm going to send that to you if you want to make a video out of that.
adult social care services.
Okay, you can stop talking. I've sent that to you, buddy. If you want to make a video out of that, feel free to do so. Please, feel free to do so. Error 404. Reform brain not found. Windows has found a critical error and will shut down. Please contact your bullcrap supplier, says Jal. Yeah. Did you know how much content ATP geography puts out? Low. I need an extra body to keep up with the watching. Are you talking about something else there? 1 year has more than 100 days, right? I think so. I don't think he knows maths, guys. Oh dear. You've already seen it. You're already on it. Oh, okay. You're already doing the video. Okay, I didn't see that comment earlier. Oh, okay. Well, it's gonna be. Ah, dear, oh dear. A reminder, guys. But don't worry, guys. Here, Zero Yusuf says we have the highest caliber group of MPs certainly in my lifetime in this country. Right? Yep, highest caliber, guys.
Maybe around half of those cabinet ministers to not be members of parliament. Now, that isn't because we don't have confidence in our class of MPs. We are working really hard, and we think we will have the highest caliber group of MPs, certainly in my lifetime in this country.
Drives me mad when I see adverts full of black people, full of Asian people, full of, people that basically are anything.
What's wrong with that, Sarah?
Yeah, definitely, definitely high caliber MP there. Yeah, definitely high caliber guys. High caliber. And this is this is by the way what you're you're going to see. We've already seen on a council level some councillors and whatnot refusing to talk to local media, local papers and whatnot about what they're doing because they don't want they don't want to give attention, right? They don't want to give anything to the media, right? I said this before and I said this again. If Reform Russia form the next government, they will silence any media that is not in their alignment with them. Just like what you're seeing in America right now with a lot of media outlets.
The ministerial code, there's a glaring objection that I have to the ministerial code as adapted by this government, particularly by Lord Harmer, is that it requires ministers to acknowledge international law in their decision making. So that's an immediate change that we would make to liberate ministers from that obligation. Yeah, that's right. So if we were to I don't know, drop a bomb in Paris, guys, we wouldn't have to worry about international laws because we would have left that. That's literally what he's implying here. He wants us to leave international law. So, not part of the community, like North Korea, like that. That's exactly what Danny Kruger is suggesting here, guys. What could possibly go wrong not being adherent to international law? What could possibly go wrong with such an idea like that? What do you think? And like I said about how the media, listen to how they talk about media when they ask them questions.
Claire Ellicott, Daily Mail.
Hello. Michael Heseltine in The Times today has compared Reform with Oswald Molesley and Enoch Powell. What's your response to that? And if I could ask, what role would you both play in a future Reform government?
You're talking about Michael Heseltine? Yeah, well, this is a man who in 1992 announced the closure of over half the remaining coal mines in this country, and he said it was a deeply unpleasant thing to do. Well, I think he is deeply unpleasant saying these things about Reform UK. He needs to just shut up and go away.
Yeah, look. Saying that, listen, you could have disagreements about what journalists have said in the past here, but that's that kind of language. That's the kind of language that you hear from Donald Trump. That's the kind of language you hear from right-wingers. Again, whatever you might think of what Michael Heseltine here, it's
It's disgusting to talk about journalists like this, who are quoted or are asking questions like that. And yeah, I just think it's pretty distasteful, really distasteful kind of language here. People in your constituency voted for a Tory and ended up with a Reform MP. Is that fair? So I want to, before I play this clip, I want to point something out here because I want to be fair and balanced here. Okay, now rightfully so, there was Labour councillors who converted to who became Green councillors in Swindon a while ago. I think it was last week we talked about it. And one of the questions that was asked about them was the fact that people didn't vote for Green councillors, they voted for Labour councillors. So should they not have a right to a vote? And the reason that they said they didn't do it, okay, was because that there were elections that were coming up within a couple, I think it was like not too long, like only in a few months' time, there were going to be elections in that area on the council level for them. So their positions are not like they're going to be there for like 12 months or something, you know, for a long period. So they're still going to have to fight for their seats as green councillors, all right? But the other argument was made is that it costs taxpayer money, council money, in order to run an election much sooner as well. And I think that's an argument that's worth putting up. However, it depends. Like, the thing is that we can't say here, I can't sit here and say that Danny Kruger here, who converted from Conservative to MP, I can't say to him, yeah, he should definitely have run a by-election because he switched seats, right? And then not say the same thing about a councillor who switched allegiance as well. Because that wouldn't be right. It would be too biased for me. And maybe some people will disagree, or maybe argue that because it's an MP, it should be different. Shouldn't it be different? Councillors and MPs should have the same thing, or should it be a case that it's just MPs that should be forced? Oh, thank God the heating's turned on. Should it just be MPs then, guys, that should be forced to go into an immediate by-election if they switch political parties? Should councillors also have that to do the same thing though? If councillors switch political parties, should they be forced to have an election doing so as well? I'm generally curious because I think that's a fair argument to make in this. But anyway, here's Danny Kruger defending himself switching over and not having a by-election.
Yeah, but no. When it comes to the change that people voted for in your constituency, they voted for a Conservative and they've ended up with a Reform MP. Is that fair?
Well, they vote for the candidate. And the way
and you
it works...
tell them the party afterwards?
Well, that's how it works. So you vote for an MP...
Is that fair?
Well, listen, you must think...
It's very important to understand that when people vote, they don't vote for the party. They don't vote for the candidate. Sorry, they vote for the party. All those people who voted in the Caerphilly Welsh by-election, they voted for Reform. They voted for Nigel Farage. They didn't vote for the candidate. They voted because of Nigel Farage. They voted for Reform UK. They voted for that party. They didn't vote for the candidate because the candidate was a fucking moron. And we saw a clip from Politics Joe of literally him standing in the middle of a town talking to someone from Politics Joe. And then when the reporter went to ask a member of the public to ask if they wanted to speak to the candidate, literally the guy said, no, he's a racist. Nobody, nobody cares about the candidate. They're more interested in most people are more interested in the party than the candidate. Now, there are exceptions, of course, Jeremy Corbyn being a prime example of that. But in most areas, it's more about the party than it is about the candidate.
What are you actually suggesting? That every time that a MP changes his or her mind about a particular policy that they didn't stand on at the last election, that they should go back to the constituency and have a by-election?
No, that's not what he says. What he's saying is, if you decide to switch political parties, without the people in that area being allowed to have a say on who should be representing their constituency on what political banner that you are under, they should have a right to choose. It should not be right for constituents who, let's say, for instance, I'm in a Labour area right now, okay? Let's just say my Labour MP, right, decide to switch to the Green Party, yeah, just out of the blue, right? Let's just say that happened, right? I would say, no, he should have a by-election to be able to fight for his seat. And voters should have the right to be able to choose if they want a Green MP or a Labour MP or any other one for that matter. Because it's not right, as much as I want a Green MP, it's not right that someone can simply switch political allegiances, just like a flick of a switch, and we have no say in it until there's another by-election. And by then, people's opinions may have changed since then. We have a right, to have a say on it. So, for me, that's undemocratic for us to not have that say.
Potentially. Well, that would be crazy, because all the time politicians are trusted. The way we have a representative democracy, MPs are elected and then they're trusted, left alone for 4 years to use their own judgment in the interests of their
Well, there's actually by-elections, but carry on.
Constituency and the country. And then they go back to their voters and say, do you still want me? That's what I'm going to do.
Well, they didn't vote for... They voted for a Conservative MP as well. Yes, they voted for you, but they also voted for a Conservative MP. And the people have a right to decide whether they want a Reform MP or a Conservative one. And they don't get that say. And you've taken that say from them. And like I said, yeah, if my MP in my area, who is a Labour MP, if he decided to switch to another political party, I, rightfully so, would say, hang on a minute, that's not what I want in my constituency. Hang on a minute, I should be allowed to have a vote. I should be allowed to have a say on what political party you can vote for. Yes, I know it's the rules, but it's stupid. It's undemocratic is the word that I would like to use for it there. Can't believe we've already gone an hour in, guys. I just want to say thank you guys all for being here. I really do appreciate it. If you guys want to financially support me in the work that I do here, you can help with a super chat. Help me reach today's super chat goal if you can. We didn't reach it this morning, but if you guys can help in any way, it'd be greatly appreciated. Also, do consider becoming a YouTube member for as little as 99p. If you are a YouTube member, you will have already seen some short videos already ready for you guys to check out. They'll be dropping over the next couple of days as well. And also, you get to check out the members community posts that drop every day at 12 o'clock as well, because who wouldn't want to see a picture of Dolly or Jasper, my two lovely cats? Because definitely, that is definitely value for money right there, guys. And if that wasn't enough, whenever you comment on any of my videos as a YouTube member, you get a response from me. Sometimes it takes a while for me to respond, but you always get a response from me as a YouTube member. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who is a member. It is greatly appreciated. Oh, and by the way, you do get custom emojis as well, if you didn't notice as well. Our members get custom emojis that they get to use as well, which we saw Cash Dummy earlier, the Cookie Monster, used as an emoji there. There's even emojis of me, of all people, as well, that you can use as well, believe it or not. Crazy, I know. I'm an emoji. Yeah, you can use me as an emoji. Crazy stuff, guys. So thank you guys all for being here. I appreciate it. Catch you next time or next show. Thank you, Indy Duck, for popping in. I'll be live again at 11 o'clock if you want to pop in then. Right, so let's talk a little bit about Gaza here, guys. So some MPs were obviously talking about the situation. Some MPs were talking about it, and I want to hear from a couple of them here. And I want to hear the response from the MP here. I want to start with Stella Creasy here on this.
Now, what we saw in the last 24 hours, the Vice President argued that skirmishes are somehow inevitable. With the greatest will in the world, the death of 35 children and possibly more is not a skirmish. If the international community can do anything, it is to be involved in the detail of ensuring that the ceasefire holds. So if he won't tell us what the government's response to it will he at least tell us what possible justification the Israelis have given for the latest incident?
Minister.
I hate this minister, by the way, because he regurgitates the same shit over and over. I don't like this MP. I also want to point out that I know he has an impossible job, but I just think he's a stooge for Israel as well.
Madam Speaker, I don't wish to spend too much time at the dispatch box repeating the statements of others. I'm sure the honourable member who follows this closely will have seen what the Israeli government provided us justification. I'm sure she will have seen the statements from Hamas denying that they were involved in...
Yeah, justification for 39 deaths of children, guys. Justification!
...the shooting in Rafah and the considerable uncertainty, I think, that has surrounded some of those events. The key question here for the British government is whether or not we think the ceasefire can hold, whether or not we think we can make the progress, all of the progress.
Yep, don't mention the 35 kids, guys. We can't talk about the 35 children that died or the other people that died at the hands of Israel strikes. We can't do that, guys. We can't condemn Israel. That would just be horrible to do. We just can't do it.
That she is describing on reopening the aid crossings, disarming Hamas.
You know what? That's a good point, Mutty. Every time I see this guy at the stats box, he can't stand straight. He's terrible. At least most other Labour ministers that I see stand at that splash box, they stand with a certain posture and a certain way. He stands terribly, in my opinion.
The transitional governance arrangements, I am not for 1 second taking away from the gravity of these incidents. Lives have been lost.
Yep, but you're not going to condemn Israel for the killing of children, are you?
Children have been killed. But the role that stands before the British government at the moment is to ensure that we do not have a breakdown of the ceasefire.
We already have! We already have! Because they were allowed to do what they did after the ceasefire, and no one has done fuck all about it. And you keep turning a blind eye. You do, the French, the Americans, all you fucking lot who stand behind Israel. And you keep saying, oh, we got to let the ceasefire go through. Oh, it's going to be okay. And because Israel said, we've turned back on the ceasefire. I'm just like, you're having a fucking laugh, right? You mean like the same ceasefire that you have with Lebanon, right? The same ceasefire with Lebanon, yeah? How many lives are still being lost as a result of strikes and shootings that still take place by Israel inside Lebanon on Hezbollah since that ceasefire was agreed upon? Yeah? No one talks about what happens there. Nobody talks about what happens there. There's supposed to be a ceasefire there. You know that that's getting brokered all the bloody time, right, by Israel. Nobody says anything. Yeah? People still die there. UN peacekeepers have been targeted as well. But nobody wants to say anything there.
That does not mean we do not get into the detail. We have a Major General in the CMCC who is part of the efforts trying to ensure that when threats to the ceasefire, when violence occurs, we understand who and why, but I won't give running commentary from the dispatch box until we are in a position to do so.
Labour are so desperate to not criticise Israel. It's so infuriating. Steve McMorran, thank you for making my day. Thank you so much for the 20 New Zealand dollars. It's thank you so much, my friend. Good morning to you over there in New Zealand. How are you doing? I hope you are doing well. Thank you for the very generous 20 New Zealand dollars. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being a member and for your very generous super chats. And it's extremely generous. I really do mean that. Thank you so much. Yeah, evening here, but morning to you, my friend. Thank you so much for that generous donation. Another poisonous, nasty little imp. He is a poisonous little imp. He is a poisonous little imp.
The war crimes carried out by Israel last night, including the killing of 35 children, are a continuation of the horrors that we've seen over the last 2 years, visited upon the people of Palestine by a state led by Prime Minister Netanyahu, who is currently wanted for war crimes. The government quite rightly brought wide-ranging sanctions on Russia for its unlawful invasion of Ukraine and its war crimes. But isn't the truth that unless there are real consequences to Netanyahu and Israel for these war crimes, they will carry on because a lack of action, a lack of sanctions is giving them the green light and treating them with kid gloves. So isn't now the time for extensive widespread sanctions on Israel? And why are they treated differently to Russia? And why is Netanyahu treated differently to Putin?
Not going to hear the minister's answers because he's not going to answer the question, guys. But yeah, Richard Burden there, another Labour MP. He's one of the few good Labour MPs on that side of the side in government who does speak rightfully on the issues there. And yeah, we treat Israel like we don't give them any kind of rules and regulations anymore. We don't stop them doing anything that they're doing. It's absolutely disgusting. We'll come to that clip in a moment. Another common sense minister, of course. We didn't hear him at Prime Minister's questions, but we will hear from him here. Stephen Flynn, one of many, definitely one of the good ones here, guys.
I get the impression that the Minister shares my despair at what feels like the constant impediments to real progress that are being put in place both by the impunity of Hamas but also by the impunity of Benjamin Netanyahu's genocidal regime. But I am curious. The United States of America have indicated that the response from Israel last night was proportionate and they backed the action. Is that a view shared by His Majesty's government?
Minister.
He does not answer the question, of course. But Stephen Flynn is right to point that out. That do we support the action because the US supported the action? I think we already know what he's going to say. He's just going to repeat and regurgitate the same things over and over again, I'm afraid. Richard Burden is a hero. Richard Burden is one of the few... I feel for him because he's trying... Because there's the argument of being inside Labour to try and change Labour for the better is better than being on the outside of it. But I just feel like he is inevitably going to become a Green MP. I feel like that is inevitable for him because Labour don't intend to change their position on this. And of course, how can we not listen to Jeremy Corbyn on this matter?
For every day since the ceasefire took place, at least 20 Palestinians in Gaza have been killed by the IDF. There's been numerous other breaches of the ceasefire and continued military activity in the West Bank. Could the Minister assure the House that Britain no longer flies RAF planes over Gaza, no longer cooperates with Israel on its security arrangements, and no longer supplies any weapons to Israel because of their frequent breaches of the ceasefire and their continued abuse of the people of Gaza and of the West Bank?
Minister.
Madam Deputy Speaker, I've set out our arrangements in relation to arms and the very significant suspensions that we made from this dispatch box a number of times. They remain in place. The right honourable member, forgive me, asks about flights of the RAF. I think he refers to the RAF flights that were attempting to find hostages in Gaza. They have stopped. The hostages have been released. There's no further function for those flights, so they have ended.
Do you believe him? I hope he is right about those flights. However, I'm very sceptical of that. But at least he answered that question there. Right, all decent people are anti-Semitic because we're calling out Israel. Well, I'm half German, and I will say I'm not anti-Semitic, but Israel is committing genocide in Palestine. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but it's just the words that they use. So there's a report from Sky News on this a couple of hours ago as well.
Overnight, the Israeli military killed around 100 people in Gaza with a ferocious bombardment.
This is a terrible reporting, in my view, because of the way it's descripted.
They say now they are back to respecting the ceasefire. But can you actually have a ceasefire when so many people have been killed in such a short space of time? And the answer, curiously enough, is probably yes.
No, the answer is no. And the answer is no, you fucking moron. Because a ceasefire is supposed to be both sides to stop firing upon each other. Now, let me make something very, very clear here, okay? Now, in history, there have been times where there have been ceasefires and there have been breaches, where there have been sometimes in certain ceasefires in certain history, And you guys can tell me if I'm wrong or not, where there have been reports of possible people shooting at each other, or there's been skirmishes and clashes, and lives have been lost in fragile ceasefires, yeah? We accept that. It can happen, yeah? That's fragilities of ceasefires, because that does happen, all right? But we're talking about Israel deliberately and intentionally bombing huge amounts of areas inside the Gaza enclave. Near hospitals, near buildings, more than 100 people, 35 children died. Okay? And you are to tell me that this ceasefire is perfectly fine because of what they did. And the reason that they did it is because allegedly, and we have to stress the word, this is allegedly an IDF soldier was killed by Hamas. Or by one of its factions within Hamas. Allegedly. And I have to stress that because I've not seen evidence to verify that personally. But that justifies them killing 35 children and 100 Palestinian lives. Apparently that's justified. According to America, that's justified. And according to the Sky News reporter, that because of what they did, it's okay. It's still a ceasefire. I don't think so. I think we should call it out for what it is. Murder. Plain and simple.
Because this ceasefire agreement with Donald Trump's name written across the top of it is about a set of aspirations for the future, about achievements, rather than what's necessarily happening on the ground. Now, Israel attacked because of two things. One was this ongoing suspicion that Hamas is not acting with good faith, that when it says it can't find the bodies of deceased hostages, that it's lying about that.
That doesn't give you the right to bomb innocent people. Even if your enemies are lying to you, yeah, let's just assume Hamas are lying because they are scumbags and terrorists and whatnot, right? Let's assume that Hamas were lying, okay? That doesn't give you the right to bomb innocent people.
And the second thing was the killing of an Israeli soldier yesterday. And we know that when an Israeli soldier is killed, the response is always huge. It's happened before and it happened here.
One Israeli soldier does not justify the killing of 35 children and 100 Palestinians. Time and time again, the Western media say this as if it doesn't matter. It's a terrible tragedy. An IDF soldier has died. Oh, but we'll ignore the pile of bodies of dead children over there and Palestinians because their lives are irrelevant to us. But oh, look at this terrible loss of life here. This poor Israeli soldier. But let's ignore the children, the dead children that Israel killed. It's just insane. It's insane.
Now, the Americans were pre-warned and so gave a kind of tacit agreement that some kind of reprisal was acceptable, even if...
They said, yeah, go right ahead and do it. You can do it. Oh, they killed one of your boys? Yeah, you got permission to do it.
That reprisal was big. So the Americans have signed up. The Israelis feel that they have done what they needed to. But Hamas also believes that it wants to play a role in the long-term future of Gaza. And so will probably go along with this response, with returning to the terms of a ceasefire, however shaky it may be.
Hamas don't have a choice because Hamas doesn't have any hostages. They have no bargaining chip. They are screwed one way or another. So for Hamas's point of view, there's no benefit of them going back to war. There's no way out for them anymore. They don't have anything on Israel anymore. It's just infuriating, guys. So where should I go next, guys? I want to save that story for the end, actually. Let me just see what else I've got here. Shall I show you a bit more of Hurricane Melissa? Yeah, we'll show you. I'll show you a couple. I'll show you one or two clips of Hurricane Melissa here, of what's been happening here, guys. So for those who weren't here this morning, there's a couple more clips Hurricane Melissa, the damage that has been done here. This is drone footage showing widespread flood damage and debris across Santa Cruz, Jamaica, as the cleanup begins after Hurricane Melissa here. I'm going to turn off the music because we don't need the music, but you can see the devastation and destruction from the use of the drone. It's absolutely completely wiped out here, and it's going to take a while for them to get back to normality. But I do believe that Jamaica will be strong enough to do this. They will overcome this. They will get the necessary support that they need to. But one of the things that really upsets me is that while I do believe that they will get the funding and support from people out there to restore Jamaica, there's this part of me that is like, where are they when it comes to, where were they when it came to Haiti? And that's the thing that kind of sticks into my mind. You know, when it comes to the real poorer nations, where were they? So that's the thing that sticks in my mind. You know, another example was when there was that massive earthquake in Myanmar. I can't remember if it was this year or last year. And everyone responded to it, but didn't care about the fact that there was a civil war going on still in Myanmar, which is still going on now. So, thank you, Stephen Banker, for the £2 super chat. Yeah, I don't like ranting. I don't like ranting, but sometimes I just need to get it off my chest. Thank you for the £2 super chat. I will put that in the swear jar. I'll put that in the swear jar. And for those who asked earlier, here's Ollie smiling because people. I didn't give Ollie a smiling earlier, but he's still upset, guys. He's upset because of what's been happening in the Middle East and what's happening here. Oh, this is just basically Diane Abbott asking, will we be doing more to support them there in Jamaica? That was just asking the government there.
Right now we're in Black River.
So here, I just wanted to share this clip here from person speaking in the aftermath of it all as well.
Right now we're in Black River. As you can see, that was the old church, Anglican church. That's the police station over there. This is where you have the Chinese store and the supermarket behind us. When you look over there, that's the market. And all those places are damaged. We don't even have any clothes. This is our situation at hand right now. And we're pleading for help because we need help. We're basically stuck in Black River and we cannot come out. Look, if you look around, everybody's trying to survive. This is survival mode. But most importantly right now, we're just telling Master God thanks that we are alive and we have endured the worst. So, when you think your situation is worse, remember there's somebody else that is going through a worse situation than you. So let us give thanks in all that we're doing. Big up Daddy Jesus.
We appreciate her up spirits there. Lovely up-spiriting message there, despite everything that's going on. And, you know, I really do hope that, I really do believe that, you know, that the Jamaican government, with the assistance of international groups, Trump has already said that his administration will go to supporting, will support Jamaica in this process. He has said that. Whether he will do it, I don't know. But I'm sure international aid will also come to the aid of the country there as well. With regards to that, guys. So yeah, let's do these ones. Zach Polanski, guys. He's Matty Van Erich, thank you so much for the £2 super chat. One more down to the goal. Yes, one more to the super chat goal. If we can get there, it'd be great. Yeah, thank you for that £2 super chat, Matty. Very generous of you. I really appreciate your support, guys. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So Zach Polanski, guys. You know, he's really rattling a lot of people, and I'm just going to give you an example of so many of reporters and podcasters who really, well, Owen Jones is on his side, but you know, people are getting quite rattled with him. And here's another one of him here.
Well, personally, I think 4 years until the next general election, perhaps it's a long time, but I think Zach Polanski of the Green Party, I think he's going to make a massive dent in Labour's vote.
I don't. Well, he might in Labour's vote. I don't think he's going to touch Farage. I think Polanski is going to crash and burn.
Oh, is that because he made you crash and burn on live national television?
I don't trust the guy. I think he's all about.
He has charisma. He's cutting through. He's connecting.
He does not have charisma.
He
does have charisma. He does not have charisma. What? You literally sat on a panel with him. He does not have charisma. Yet somehow the Greens are somehow managing to surge in the polls, and yet there's been over 150,000 members have joined the Green Party, and yet apparently he does not have charisma, guys. Mark Wilkie, good to see you there. Hope you are doing well.
Does have
He's
charisma.
decidedly weird, I think.
He's
and
not.
I say that having met him and talked to him. I think he doesn't even believe half of what he says. I think he says it to create waves, to make waves.
He's got more members than the Tory party have got.
Well, yeah. Well, that's not saying much, Jojo, is it really?
This is the desperation to smear Zelensky.
Probably got more members than Labour as well, actually. But, I think the guy is a self-publicist, and I don't see him as a leader.
Except he's the leader of the Green Party. But I digress, guys. Harriet Harman can't stand it either, and another one who's just not happy, guys.
For me, it seems like he's a combination of Jeremy Corbyn and Nigel Farage, and neither appeals to me. Elections are a competition, and you do have to worry, and there's been a lot of focus on Zach Polanski as their new, supposedly dynamic, charismatic leader. Now, for me, the Greens have always seemed like a very sort of collaborative, women's-focused, teamly kind of party. And Zach Polanski is not in that vibe at all. He's in the kind of big I am, male leader vibe.
What is this language? What? Based on what? Like, it's because Harriet Harman's so upset, guys, because the Green Party aren't being their little niche party where they can just sit on the side in the corner and don't say anything that would, don't say anything that would galvanise the left. Guys, just stay in the corner, keep quiet, keep to yourself, guys, sort of thing. Oh, Steve, thank you so much for the 10 New Zealand dollars. That's very generous of you. Thank you again. Reaching today's super chat goal. That's very generous. Thank you so much for that. Talk about pot and kettle. Malone calling anyone weird. Yeah, I know. Yeah, she's very weird. They fear Zach, and that's delicious. This is why I wanted to share these, guys. Thank you so much, Steve. That's very generous of you today. I really appreciate your support. That's very kind of you. Thank you. Thank you for everyone who gave super chats for this live stream. I appreciate it. Very generous of you all.
Point is that he, a bit like Farage to the right, he's capturing a bit of a zeitgeist. He's capturing disillusionment with the Labour Party. He's capturing young people's vibe, right? So Labour should be worried, right, Ruth?
He's a really good communicator. He's capturing the idea for people that voted Labour, but maybe perhaps feel a bit disillusioned by them, that there is another option out there, that they can be true to their progressive lefty principles, and they don't have to vote for the kind of chaos that is the Corbyn Your Party. There is something else. There's a place for them to go. They can go somewhere.
He's a combination. For me, it seems like he's a combination of Jeremy Corbyn and Nigel Farage, and neither appeals to me.
The reason they don't appeal to you is because, respectfully, you are an older person. You have been through politics. You have experienced it. You have lived it. And now you're at a certain age where you look back on the achievements and whatnot of your generation. You're not looking at it from the lens of a younger generation. You're not looking at it from the perspective of younger people in society right now who don't have any hope, nobody is giving them any hope, giving them ideas, giving them politics, talking to them on their level about their problems, their issues, and their lives that are being affected. You, respectfully, and your party, the Labour Party, are not appealing to the younger people anymore because you're not talking about their issues in a way that they understand, in a way that you can understand them. Zach Polanski is talking to them at a normal level. He understands because of the way he comes across. And the politics that he has resonate with ordinary people about what their issues are. It's not just about wealth tax all the time, which is the main thing you hear about all the time. He's saying the things that is appealing to people because he's talking it from an understandable level. And it's not just him,
because of his galvanization. It is people around him that have also resonated that thing, and it's only going to grow.
I get that you're not getting the feels for Zach Polanski, Harriet, but I have to say, and I'm going to say this with respect, although I know it's going to sound disrespectful, I don't mean it to, so please don't shoot the messenger, but I don't think you're their target voter. I think they're looking much further down the age demographic, and they're looking at an electorate that isn't steeped in two-party politics anymore, that's far more transactional, that wants to use their ballot to make a particular...
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. Is going and the votes and the polls are showing that. Polls are showing that as well. I'm not going to play this one because it's 2 minutes to 9, but I do recommend checking out Owen Jones's video on it as well, because I thought it was quite a good bashing one there as well. I want to share this video for those who haven't seen it. It's pinned to his tweet. I'm going to show. I've got 2 more videos I want to share before we wrap up as well, guys. But I wanted to share this one from Zach Polanski here to remind you about, you know, connecting to ordinary people. I might have shared this already with some of you guys, but I wanted to share it again with you guys. Let me just adjust my screen here for you guys, just so you can see me in a bit bigger of a light here.
You know, I went to Handsworth in Birmingham the other day. It was absolutely appalling. It's as close as I've come to a slum in this country.
Add lots of Norman French to some Angles, Saxon, Jutes and Vikings, then stir vigorously. Mix some hot Chileans, cool Jamaicans, Dominicans, Trinidadians and Bajans, with some Ethiopians, Chinese, Vietnamese and Sudanese. Then take a blend of Somalians, Sri Lankans, Nigerians and Pakistanis and turn up the heat. Sprinkle some fresh Indians, Malaysians, Bosnians, Iraqis and Bangladeshis, together with some Palestinians, then add to the melting pot. Leave the ingredients to simmer. As they mix and blend, allow their languages to flourish, binding them together with English. Allow time to be cool. Add some unity, understanding and respect for the future. Serve with justice and enjoy.
Unity, not division. That's what he wants to bring. And he's very good at appealing to that. So, mental health. I want to touch on this before we go to our funny video, because it's important. So, the Sky News did a piece today where they visited the charity organisation Mind and the work that they are doing, and I wanted to share their video with you guys on the subject, because I think it's very, very important here. There contains talk of mental health and suicide, so I'm just warning you guys ahead of time. So Sky's Anjum Paraskos visited a walking mental health clinic where young people can receive help for their mental health without a GP referral. And again, if you've been affected by any of the stories and want to talk to someone, you can talk to Samaritans free on 116123 or at joesamaritans.org here. So just giving you the word of warning in time. But I think I saw this and I thought this is worth sharing, because even though I won't be doing a mental health live stream until January. I was going to do one in December, but I've decided, based on what conversations I've had with people, they believe it's in the best intention not to do it around Christmas. So instead, we're going to do it in January, mental health live stream, guys. But I wanted to share this with you guys.
The only thing I remember was I was in a very low mood, and then every time I wake up, I felt like I felt like I couldn't even see people. I was a person who smiles a lot, and I couldn't show people that smile.
Mind research shared exclusively with Sky News states 48% of young people said their mental health negatively affects their school attendance.
Children who are aged between 18 and 21, who would also be the COVID cohort, are saying that their mental health struggles are still persisting despite coming out of lockdown now. I'm here today at a hub where children and young people can come in and ask for help and support without a GP referral or a medical professional referral, which alleviates some of the issues that children and young people are facing. with regards to their mental health.
We have seen an increase in young people accessing our services since the pandemic. We see young people who can't engage in school, maybe socialising, anxiety, self-harm, suicidal ideation as well has increased at no limits, which is why we're so invested in making sure that an open access hub drop-in is available for all children and young people.
When you have someone next to you, you get something, encouragement, you get, you get better view, you feel very calm. And and I came, and that was my first time. I only told them, and then it took me a few days to think about it. Okay, well, you have people who listen whenever time you need.
What if support with mental health meant more kids could go to school? What if children and young people didn't have to wait for a referral from a doctor to get the help they need? What if they could just walk in?
Yeah. What if they could just walk in? And I commend them, and I commend all charities and organisations that do the work that they do. I do understand that I know the government have talked about helping tackling the mental health issue as well. I know that's something West Streeting has spoken about before the general election and after it as well. And I know it's something that they're trying to work on, and it is a major challenge. It is a major challenge for this government. It's a major challenge for organisations out there to try and help people cope with their mental health. And I do understand it's very difficult to do so. I really do, because our NHS is in a very bad. It's going to take a long time for NHS to recover to any kind of to recover to a certain extent, because of what has been put through. But mental health is a real thing, and there are lots of people out there, devious, nasty individuals, people with power, people in certain political parties who believe mental health is not a real thing, or that they will try and play it down, and that it's just a case of, oh, people just need a good kick up the backside to get into work. No, mental health is real. I've been affected by it. Some of you have shared your stories with me in the past about it, and it's really important that we remind ourselves of that. Like I said, we will talk about mental health again, but just not for a while, guys. But I thought I wanted to share that with you guys, and I hope you found it informative. And knowing that there are groups, there are organisations, there are charities, there are communities out there. It's literally, if you struggle and you need to talk to someone, of course. You could always feel free. We do have a mental health section on our Discord if you ever want to talk there. Of course, my DMs are open if you ever want to talk a conversation there. But just remember also as well, you can just being here in the live chats, being able to talk to other people, just to make you aware that you're never alone. And I want people to remember that. So yeah, thank you for listening to that, guys. Actually, you know what? Let's play this one. Remember this fucker? I wanted to play one video in between before we go to the funny video. What? Peter Mandelson.
Did you tell Keir Starmer everything? Did you leave anything out? So can you clear up for us? How many times did you visit Jeffrey Epstein?
He doesn't look happy. I wonder what's happened, guys. He used to be all nice and smiley. I wonder what changed.
How many times did you visit him, sir? Sir, who are the friends you referred to in your birthday message to Epstein in his birthday book?
What's the matter, Peter? You used to be so happy. You're not all smiley now.
So are you going to release all the correspondence between you and Jeffrey Epstein? Lord Mandelson, these are important matters, sir. Are you going to release the correspondence? Was Keir Starmer aware?
Mandelson, the Prince of Darkness, the supreme great spin doctor, how not to conduct a doorstep. If you're doorstepped by the likes of you and me, be polite, say good evening, be friendly, and then say thank you very much, but I really haven't got anything to add to what I've said previously, blah, blah, blah. Be nice. He looks furtive, he looks shifty. And talk about how the mighty have fallen. I mean, he got into a car which had the engine sounded a bit croaky, didn't it? And, he's used to driven around in limos. He used to be, not that long ago, he was, in the White House with Donald Trump. He's the man who likes the high life, the oligarchs, yachts, all that sort of stuff. And there he is, looking shifty and furtive at a provincial railway station like some sort of fugitive.
But we shouldn't laugh, because people's lives have been destroyed by his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. The man has questions to answer, and he can sit there with his stone-look face. But you tell that, but for all of him being cold, being blind, not talking about it and whatnot, yeah. What is it? What for everything that this man is? Where's his compassion? Where's his care? Where he's considerate about the victims, the countless victims who have been in this. It makes you wonder. It just makes you wonder just how much this man should be. He should not be walking the streets. He should not be walking the streets. He should be in prison for being related to Epstein, in my view. But there are rules and there are laws. So we need the Epstein files to come out so that if he did something that he shouldn't have done, that he can face prison for it. Because I think he's hiding something far more sinister than what we've already been told about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. So guys, we have come to the end of the live stream. But we've got one more video to see ourselves out, guys. One more video, and of course, we're not going to leave on a whimper there. No, we're going to leave with a funny video with one of our own, Maggie Reed, with this great video here. Just to remind yourself of just how stupid MAGA supporters are. The stupidity of them will go forevermore, guys. Forever, evermore. Take it away, Maggie. Here it is from her. Another week of MAGA.
Oh, look, a check from the government. I hope it's my government paycheck, or maybe one of them Doge checks that I've been waiting for. Why is it empty? Holy shit, our health insurance premiums just went up $23,000. That can't be right. I mean, Trump would never have us loyal patriots have to choose between paying for health insurance, rent, and groceries. It must be a typo. Your bank sent you foreclosure on your soybean farm? Well, that can't be real. Trump loves the farmers. He also says we've got the hottest country right now because of tariffs. Shit, our SNAP benefits aren't coming this month. But you know what? I got 2 jobs, and Trump says that groceries are way down, so I think we'll be okay. What the hell? It's gonna cost me $150 for just eggs, milk, and beef? That can't be real. I know, it's fake news, or it's April Fool's Day in October. Trump is so funny. 1 second. Notice of recall. All your food is contaminated with lead, bits of plastic, and listeria. Nice try, liberals. Hey, y'all. Thanks for coming. Yeah, it's me in there. We're making America great again. Don't worry. It's all part of Trump's plan.
Yep, it's all part of Trump's plan. That's exactly it. Kill the supporters. Oh, it doesn't matter how much shit there's thrown at them. They're still gonna worship the ground he stands on, guys. Dear, oh dear. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Are you sure this time? Says Indie Duck. So, guys, I want to say a massive thank you to everyone who came along tonight. Thank you to those who gave Super Chats tonight. Very generous of all for those who did. Stephen Banker, Matty Von Eric, Steve McMahon for the very and making sure I'm not missing anybody. Definitely didn't miss anybody
else? Oh, and Martin Brisk there as well. Yep, almost missed yours there. I'll make sure all your names are. Thank you guys so much for your super chats today. Really appreciate your support. I'll be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. for another Good Morning Show. I will also be live tomorrow at 8 p.m. for a Regan Elites conflict. We're going to be looking at different conflicts, guys. So we're going to be talking about all sorts of different conflicts. We're going to talk about Sudan. I'll see what we can find on Myanmar. So plenty of that to come tomorrow night. So if you guys want to join me for that, feel free to do so as well. But on your way out, if you can for me, he's going to leave her a smile today because he appreciates you guys' support. We will continue to talk about what's happening. Bingo also wants to say thank you guys for your support as well. Remember, if you're a member, you get emojis of him and the rest of the gang behind me as well. So I just wanted to say thank you as well. But on your way out, guys, if you can, please hit that like button. Greatly appreciate. Share it across social media. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Do check out other content on Rumble and Patreon as well. Links for them down below. Consider joining our Discord server for free as well. And I'll be back again tomorrow, guys. So take care. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And thank you all so much for watching. And I hope to catch you all very, very soon.